So, full disclosure, there are two versions of this video that exist. And obviously, this is the version that won my self-initiated contest of which was going to be uploaded to YouTube. Why is that, you might ask? Well, the answer is very simple. This was the version that wasn't a total piece of dog shit. Yesterday, I was suffering a huge bout of asthma, and you can probably tell that I'm still struggling with it a tiny bit today because of the wheezy breaths I gotta take in between my sentences here, but this shit was nowhere near the tuberculosis level of emphysema, hacking, whooping, cough, choking, nasty ass sounds that I was gurgling out in between my sentences yesterday because as the genius I am, I felt that it would have been a great idea for me to try to record a video while suffering that fucking shit. Well, I'm doing a lot better today, as you can probably tell from that description compared to how I am right now. So yeah, there's that. On top of that, my computer is working a hell of a lot better than it was yesterday. A few days ago, there was a power outage on account of a fucking storm, and because I'm a genius, I decided to leave my PC on during an electrical storm. In doing so, the power goes out. I find out that my surge protector is a useless, worthless piece of shit, and it doesn't actually do what it's designed to do. And this somehow affects my GPU and my CPU, sending my frame rates through the floor and maxing my CPU cores through the roof, lagging the shit out of my video and audio on both OBS, which I use to record videos, and YouTube. Oh boy, what a shit show that turned out to be. And if that weren't enough, on top of it all, holy shit, what a video to respond to. Oh my god, I don't even know where to begin. I'll just say this, 7 straight takes, and I still couldn't make it through the motherfucking thing. So, after deciding to hang that shit the fuck up, calm down, wait till I can actually fucking breathe, and my computer can actually fucking function, we're gonna give this one last go. So, without any further ado, let's get on this shit. Oh, God damn, I love that fucking intro. Alrighty, 3, 2, 1, here we fucking go.
Do you secretly love Donald Trump?
Secretly, I openly love Donald Trump because not only did I vote for the motherfucker, I've got posters of him taped up all over the walls in my bathroom, so while I sit on the can and jerk off feverishly to radical right-wing propaganda, I can look into Daddy Trump's eyes when I come. There's an image that won't get out of your mind without some heavy-duty brain bleach. But in reality, I did vote for the motherfucker alongside millions of other Americans who did, thus winning him the presidential election and making him president of the United States. Already far in advance of anything you've accomplished with your Hyperionism shit, and that's ignoring the accomplishments he made as a businessman prior to even running for president. And let's add some more onto that. The guy helped end the Korean War, which was in stalemate longer than either of us have been alive, Morg. And in doing this, helped to unite the leaders of North and South Korea into finding a peaceful resolution to their conflicts, something no other president in history has done. If you're going to try to make a video that's negative against Donald Trump for some of the weird points the big meaty cock of the liberal left media has ejaculated down your throat, you're fighting an uphill battle. And I love seeing you struggle to make a coherent point, so we're off to a great start. Also, I wasn't a huge fan of Hillary, but I don't think anybody here had any questions about that shit, so let's move along.
Love and lighters are those that say that everyone's truth is equally valid.
That's nice. What was with the psychedelic vomit all over the screen right there? Was I supposed to dose with some acid and LSD tabs before watching this video? And during the duration of this video, fist in big handfuls full of mushrooms into my face while swallowing them down with a gallon of orange juice? Because to be honest with you, that level of hallucinogenic fucking bliss would be a hell of a lot better than watching this fucking ugly visage. Ugh.
And they're constantly preaching about unconditional love. Get real. They're living in a fantasy.
Pah! Yeah, this thing is going to tell me I'm the one living in a fantasy land because I voted for who I wanted to vote for, and that I believe that peace in the world is possible, and that unconditional love is totally a fucking thing that is real and possible. And I have eyebrows. I don't know, man. I think you're losing fucking ground here because you need to put a mirror in your house when it comes to comparing and contrasting who is the real one that's delusional here.
This is the world of hate and darkness.
No, that's a guy doing a really sissy toss of a Molotov cocktail.
And the love and lighters, as their constant trolling proves, are among the worst offenders.
Okay, that's fine and dandy and all, but what does this out-of-context news footage from a few months back in Paris, France, of people violently rallying against Emmanuel Macron have to do anything with Donald Trump?
That's cosmic irony for you.
No, cosmic irony is a self-appointed, egotistical, narcissistic, messianic space Jesus holding up his fucking torch to the night sky to say he needs to lead a coalition of gothic edgelords into a new enlightenment phase of humanity, utilizing out-of-context news footage from another country of people rallying against somebody who isn't Donald Trump as a point against Donald Trump. That's universal irony.
The love and lighters often have the darkest shadow content.
I don't know about that. I think that accolade goes to your mascara.
If you're a love and lighter, then you secretly love Donald Trump.
If I'm a lighter, then all of my political biases are automatically in favor of the BIC Corporation, and I don't even have a say in the matter anyway because I'm an unintellectual, unintelligent, taciturn, plastic fucking lighter. Where do I even find these people?
Love and lighters have no self-awareness.
A guy who has smudged so much eyeshadow onto his fuck-ugly forehead that it's smearing up into where his eyebrows should be is telling me I have no self-awareness. Okay.
Like Christians, they tell themselves...
Oh, religion again. It just always circles right back to religion. And within 30 seconds of the video's start, too. Amazing.
One story and see themselves in one light while in fact behaving in the exact opposite way.
I couldn't try to be this pretentious. It's just impossible. You have to actually be this pretentious to be that pretentious. There's no amount of acting skill in the world that would allow you to be that big of a douche in presentation. Looks like somebody bought themselves a copy of Adobe After Effects.
Christians will preach to turn the other cheek, even while they are hell-bent on extracting an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth.
Where, in 2018, in the United States, are you finding people yanking out fuckers' teeth with pliers and yanking out fuckers' eyes with tweezers? What Pentecostal circus tent rally did you go to where this is happening? Maybe in like Saudi Arabia, under radical Islam, that kind of shit fucking happens. But I haven't heard about it happening here. Maybe 100 fucking years ago.
Hypocrites.
Zucchinis. I can say words edgy like too.
Love and lighters actually preach a message of total darkness.
Yeah, because we wouldn't expect that from a guy whose video presentation harkens back to the Heaven's Gate cult or anything.
A message of ignorance, relativism, and subjectivism, summed up by the ludicrous doctrine that everyone has their own truth.
So people coming to their own conclusions, i.e. thinking for themselves, is bad. A philosophy espoused by the leader of a cult that is, in his own words, as being described as a cult of thinking for yourself. Go back to bitching about how science is a religion, because that's like somewhat less retarded than this turbo retardation.
Their own path. Well, if everyone has their own path and their own truth, then that means that they support Donald Trump and the Islamic State.
What? How the fuck did we even get to that? Like, how does that make any sense? I would love to meet a motherfucker that supports both Donald Trump and the Islamic State at the same time, so I can know what true bipolar disorder is all about, because apparently mine ain't anywhere near that shit. Yes, I am a supporter of the Islamic State, and also I'm a supporter of a person who wants to single-handedly eradicate the radicalization of Islam. Because that can coexist. Where the fuck do those two intersect?
They are in no position to claim that anyone is wrong if the truth is merely in the eye of the beholder.
Isn't that what you believe? Oh yeah, it is.
Yet, of course, they're too irrational to realize that. They can't think straight.
Dipshit, you made a video about how morality is just an impossibility because we cannot truly define what is moral and immoral. What kind of a chaotic world do you really want to live in, butthole mouth? Look at this. I love just these out-of-context screenshots. I know my videos are full of them, but I mean, these are extreme. Just, ooh, I mean, I can't help but be juvenile in watching this shit. I can't imagine how stupid you have to be to take this shit seriously.
When, by your own doctrine, you express your unconditional love for Donald Trump, a despicable person of absolute hate.
The guy that ended the Korean War.
What does love really mean?
I don't know, because that has fuck shit to do with Donald Trump. You're trying to make the implication that if you can vote for somebody who's so hateful like Donald Trump, then you just don't have a true and valid moral compass, because your moral compass is skewed by your personal politics. No, not really. A guy who's willing to dress up like this because fuck dignity and make money by asking for Gibbs me dats from fucking edgy Hot Topic level fucking goth teens on the internet is a hell of a lot more immoral and shitty than just some average run-of-the-mill American 9-to-5er that voted for Donald Trump because they didn't want to see somebody as insane as Hillary Clinton run the country. Good Lord.
It means that you love hate, which is basically where love and light ends up.
So where is suck and fuck? And this and that? And X and Y? You know, you really got to remember not to put any weight to any of the words that are in his videos because they have no inherent meaning. It's just flowery language to make you go, oh yeah, I get it. In reality, the guy said nothing. So that's all I can really attribute to that shit. I love hate because I voted for somebody I wanted to see win the presidency. I don't agree with everything the motherfucker does. I'm not sitting there like some serf on the king's fucking lap blowing the motherfucker every single day at noon while he reads or writes a papal decree and shit, or whatever kind of version of America you think you're fucking living in. I have the right to disagree with some of his policies, and a lot of the fucking policies that presidents I've voted for in the past enacted, meaning, Obama and shit, because I'm only fucking 30, they change their policies afterward. They seem like they're going to be a decent motherfucker while they're running for office because they all do. And then when they get in office, you realize, wow, they're a little bit more full of shit than I realized. But, compared to the options we had available, what the fuck was I to do? I'm not going to let some fucking lunatic who wants to sit there and enact a bullshit war with China for no goddamn fucking reason get in office and throw us the fuck into the middle of a world war. Okay? We don't fucking need that right now. We don't need pointless conflict so this bitch can pull Benghazis off every other fucking week and drive this world into being an even bigger shithole than it already is. Sorry. Anyway, I mean, moving along before this turns into a big-ass fucking... But it's already kind of a political video, but... Moving along.
The self-styled light workers are the army of darkness.
You do not get to shit on anything Bruce Campbell is involved in, okay? I want to see you have nothing to do with my favorite actor in my favorite movie, being Army of Darkness, from my favorite movie series, being Evil of Dead. Bruce Campbell should be appointed the right to beat your fucking ass every time he sees you in public for being a fucking exploitative cunt.
destroying the light of reason wherever they find it and replacing it with moronic, hateful, emotional hysteria.
So your display right here wasn't moronic, hateful, emotional hysteria. That's totally rational. To dress up on the internet with your scrawny visage and mascara and say everybody in the world who voted for Donald Trump of their own volition is an idiot. That's not hysterical and hateful and simple-minded and turbo-retarded. Okay.
Terence McKenna, much beloved by all love-and-lighters and New Agers, said,
or people that just enjoy his philosophies and they don't need to be grouped into, sorry for the gross out there, into blanket categories the way assholes like you like to do. Religion sucks for putting people into categorized boxes. So, like these assholes, let me box people into categories. The fuck?
the great evil that has been allowed to flourish in the absence of mathematical understanding is relativism. And what is relativism? It's the idea that there is no distinction between shit and shinola.
Which is something you're totally in favor of, because now we're back to mathematical bullshit and philosophical bullshit. And now the entire substance of the video, which was murky at best, is completely lost, because what the fuck are we talking about now?
That all ideas are somehow
This is why you don't give unmedicated schizophrenics cameras, people.
operating on equal...
Oh, and internet connections. Maybe cameras are fine, but internet connections with the cameras? That's a no-no.
footing. McKenna is 100% right, and it's the curse of the modern world.
Well, that's nice. He's 100% right. Come up with your own quotes and I can take you seriously. But quote mining from motherfuckers like this all the time has really just completely nuked your credibility to even your own followers in certain regards, because they're getting sick and tired of you thinking that everybody else who came before you is right and you're the guy that's just like, hey, I came up with it too. No, you just cribbed your whole philosophy from the work of other people, faggot.
So why don't the love and lighters listen to him? The internet and social media are spreading shit and shinola.
Yeah, but if it weren't for these platforms, nobody would help you pay your bills.
At an epidemic rate. The only people promoting mathematical understanding, which is to say objective absolutism and the single truth of reality.
Can somebody please dose this guy now? I'm getting sick and tired of listening to his rambling. This is about where I fucking stopped the video last time, because we've gone from politics to religion to philosophy to science to mathematics, and I'm starting to understand that this guy is more than likely an unmedicated fucking schizophrenic, because trying to follow his thought process is impossible, because it's completely babbling and incoherent, which is kind of a trait of schizophrenics that aren't medicated, because without medication to help regulate their thought processes and their chemical balances in their brain, it just runs all over the fucking place. Watching a video from Morgue is pretty much just like hearing an unmedicated schizophrenic try to talk about anything. Because instead of focusing on one solid subject and anything to do with that subject, they talk about everything! All at once! Oh, why do I do this to myself? Oh, that's right, because you guys enjoy it, and I kind of enjoy it too. It's an acquired taste, a sense of masochism, I almost want to say.
Are us, the Hyperion movement, for our efforts.
So if I were to make a philosophy called bowel, I guess that wouldn't work out so well, because then we would be considered the bowel movement. Maybe you should consider that. I mean, Hyperion, it may not actually traction, very well with that name. Bowel, I think, would work. You could be known as the bowel movement. Because that's literally all your fucking philosophy boils down to being, is just a big pile of shit.
We get relentlessly trolled by all the subjectivists and relativists.
Well, thanks for categorizing me, because I totally need to be told what I am by faggots like you. You're getting trolled to death by assholes like me, because I enjoy making fucking idiots like you squirm to make a real valid point to justify the existence of your fucking stupid peddled philosophy, while you crawl around in the dirt and ignore the points that I make that point out that this is just a big fucking scam for money. You're an entertainer. That's all you've ever been your whole fucking life. Why should I take you seriously as a philosopher? Why should I take you seriously as a mathematician? Why should I take you seriously as a person who's understanding about science? You're just some stupid scrawny fuck on the internet who doesn't want to actually get a 9-to-5 job, because he'll have to actually get a regular fucking hair color, put on a few pounds, and actually work for a living. You're exploiting a very easy to exploit populace of the internet for a quick buck, And yet, I am a subjectivist for pointing that out. I'm a relativist for pointing that out. No, I'm an asshole with no shame willing to call you an exploitative cunt because I think somebody needs to. And because doing so is pretty fun.
This is satirically absurd.
No! This is satirically absurd! A guy willing to dress up like that on the internet, fuck you, I have purple hair and I know it, and I'm wearing this coat that looks like this and I know it, but at least I don't look like this! A guy willing to look like this and try to be taken seriously as a messianic space Jesus that has all of the knowledge of the universe but won't share it with you unless you give him money is satirically absurd. You know, I would have been willing to think this was all just one big goddamn joke if it weren't for the fact that you take in money for this crap. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Since all relativists and subjectivists should of course accept absolutism and objectivism as being equally valid points of view to any others.
Why is that a bad thing to you all of a sudden? Your whole world view, this Hyperionism shit, is absolutist, you dumb fuck, and you've said that multiple times in your previous videos. You like to use inductive reasoning because it makes, in your mind, all of your conclusions absolutely correct 100% of the time. So how the fuck is that not absolutism? I mean, do you really think that the people who fuck on you in these videos like this so fucking often as I do are so stupid we don't catch this wordplay? Oh, man. You know, to be fucking fair with you, some of your biggest fans are the people that think you're the biggest piece of shit out there, not the people who think you're the most enlightened quasi-space Jesus guru out there.
Since they deny that any position is truer or falser than any other. So on what possible basis could they legitimately criticize any viewpoint at all?
Given those metrics, you'd have a valid point, but the problem is no one's actually doing that unless they're a simpering retard who says every truth is the correct truth. That's not what these people are doing. You're taking their philosophy completely out of context because you're too retarded to understand it. At best, these assholes you're describing are solipsists, and who gives a fuck about them? Everybody that like that is thinking like we're all in our own personal matrix, creating reality as we experience it. Every single nanosecond of the day. In a fucking worldview that just denies that time is even a construct. So who gives a shit about what they think? But, you know, this is even dumber than that. People are allowed to come to their own conclusions about things, and you're shitting on them for doing that, and then replacing that with some clever wordplay that makes it sound like you're not shitting on them for that. The fuck is the point of running an organization that espouses people should think for themselves if that's such a big threat to the existence of your philosophy, or the perpetuation of it, or even the propagation of it, or even the entire foundations upon the fucking pillars of bullshit on which it's built?
Even that of Hitler or Trump.
Okay, let's get into fucking Hitler comparisons to Trump out of the way here. I think I've got a Nazi armband lying around somewhere. And while I'm looking for that, I can tack up my big-ass fucking Confederate flag over there, too, you know. Since that's all of what people who consider themselves to be conservatives are about, yeah.
They've denied themselves the right to engage in debate and criticize anyone. Yet that's all they do.
Oh, okay, so people have the right to debate in your mind that you can just take away from them arbitrarily whenever you feel like. Yeah, I want to live in a world designed by this ugly fuck. This totes not fascist mind crime fucking control federation. Good God.
These people are entirely irrational and more or less insane.
What the fuck makes you the pillar of rationality then? I've always wondered that. And what metrics are you calculating in your fucked up mind that you're the most rational fucking being that's ever existed? If people can question your rationale, then I guess that doesn't mean at all you're the most rational being ever to exist, because you really are so narcissistic you think that. Like, you'd figure that we would all just listen to your bullshit and go, oh, it was so simple. Why didn't we get it all along? And even less do they go, why does he need money if he's from another dimension, which he kind of believes he is? Meet the retards. He's the hyperspace age retard.
They are the people that tolerate intolerance, which means that they themselves are intolerant.
Then show me your solution for world peace. Show me how you're going to get fucking Israel and Palestine to chill the fuck out right now. Tell me how you're going to fix all the problems over in Syria. Tell me how you single-handedly helped end the Korean War after a 50-year stalemate and get the leaders of North and South Korea to chill the fuck about their differences so much that they actually crossed into each other's borders openly. An act that, if it ever happened prior to now, would have caused World War III. It's almost like your Hyperionism shit isn't worth a fuck because it's incapable of accomplishing anything other than helping you get donations on the internet to pay your rent. God.
The only people fighting intolerance are those that refuse to tolerate it.
Okay, so just ignore the fact that there are many people in our country that go serve in the military and infantry positions that fucking fight intolerance physically every single fucking day, putting their lives on the line to make sacrifices that your faggot ass is just too big of a soy boy to even consider putting himself in the line of fire of. Yeah, I think a couple of those people would be willing to go punch you in the fucking face for saying, oh, I'm sorry, you're just not fighting intolerance the way I see fit, so you're not fighting intolerance. Motherfucker, if a guy is willing to get his leg fucking blown off in some fucking war-torn shithole, fighting asshole-ish fucking terrorists that want to act like intolerant, oppressive, tyrannical cunts to people for no other reason that's a selfish, ego-driven desire to do it, then they're fighting intolerance. They don't need a fucking internet connection and a YouTube channel and a fucking camera to say, I'm fighting intolerance, and you just selectivist and you relativists just don't get it. Fuck you. Fuck you, you fucking weak, stupid, pussy-ass piece of shit. Make some real sacrifices in this life, and then we'll talk on that fucking level. Other than that, shut the fuck up, because you haven't done shit to accomplish shit, you motherfuck. Oh, I hate the fuck out of people that sit there and say stupid shit like that so much. It just pisses me off. Oh, what have you done to help fight all the evils in this world? Fuck you! What the fuck have you done besides sit on your goddamn lazy ass and tell everybody else how the fuck they're wrong because they're not living life the way you're living it, you lazy bourgeois fucking pasty cunt? Fuck you, you stupid fucking piece of shit. God. There are people in this world that make serious fucking sacrifices that you would never consider to fucking make to help fight intolerance in this world, to help fight some real fucking evil shit. What is your philosophy doing to help people from getting their fucking fingernails yanked out with pliers in interrogations put upon them by radical Islamics, if ever they're fucking just idiotic, dogmatic fucking adherence to a doctrine from 2,000 fucking years ago puts them in the position of being like, what the fuck are you doing to stop that shit by other than saying that you don't like it? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up with that shit.
And that means passing judgment on every belief system, every religious, political, and philosophical system, and determining whether or not it's compatible with tolerance.
Oh, okay, so cast stones on everybody because you're so narcissistic that your self-appointed ivory tower is the only ivory tower that anyone needs to pay attention to because yours is just better. Because I'm allowed to pass judgment on everybody. Because unless they're bleaching their hair and plucking their eyebrows out and blacking out their eyes and looking like they're a long-haired Marshall Applewhite on YouTube, they're really not living the way a person should be living. You see, that's what us intellectuals do. We sit around and look like rejects from the Crow auditions. You know, what's your educational accolades, by the way, faggot? Because I've always wondered what that really is. Like, what kind of an education do you have? Did you go to college at all? And if you did, was it a community college or an actual university? I mean, I'm not going to shit on you if you got an education. In and of itself, okay, you got an education. But I mean, if I'm really just yelling at a fucking high school dropout here who's got all the answers in his head because he's that level of an edgelord, I'm going to keck until my sides explode.
Is the Abrahamic worldview tolerant? If not, Abrahamism must be smashed to pieces.
Okay, so now you're no different than Mohammed coming off the fucking goddamn mountain and smashing all of the false items in, like, Islam. I don't like religion, and we should bash all Abrahamic religions. So totally ignore me creating a fucking statement there that is a descriptor of what someone did in an Abrahamic-based religion. Get the fuck out of here.
The central metaphor for today's world is the wall. Donald Trump won the US presidency by invoking this metaphor. Now here's the basic idea. The good people, the in-group, are inside the wall, while the bad people, the out-group, the other, the immigrant, the person of different race, different beliefs, different values.
Oh my god, I want to just kick my computer in the balls for allowing itself to play somebody this stupid. At that point, I also want to kick myself in the balls for subjecting myself to this shit willingly.
The foreigner are outside the wall.
Fuck head. You really don't get it, do you? It's not about us or them. It's about keeping legitimate criminals out of the country and keeping legitimate problems that can undermine a lot of infrastructures in this country from the ability to propagate and fuck things up here. Look, there are a lot of people that cross over the border that legitimately need a better life. And that's why they're coming into the country illegally to do that. Because they just don't have the opportunity to do it legally. Because if they stay, they're going to die in a much shittier infrastructure than we have here in certain places in Mexico. Now, there are places where it's not 100% shitty, but it's still pretty shitty. But for fuck's sake, when you're dealing with a country that has cartels running all over the fucking place that willingly chop the heads off their enemies and then hang their bodies upside down from freeway overpasses, you really think that we don't have the right as a country to goddamn make some sort of countermeasures to keep that shit the fuck out of here? Are you fucking kidding me? I want to really see a fucking computer model of this no borders world idiots like this guy espouse, so they can watch it self-destruct over just the course of months. There is a reason we have borders between places. There's a reason why people were okay with the wall, and a lot of the people that were okay as fuck with the wall were ranchers down on the near border between the U.S. and Mexican border. They were between the U.S. and Mexico. These guys had to deal with cartels coming across their fucking land all the time, running their drugs in and out of the country. Motherfuckers that were armed to the teeth with military-grade fucking weapons, military-grade armor and shit. These guys have money coming out their fucking ears. They can afford all that shit. What the fuck are you goddamn going to say to some guy who's driving around in a fucking armored Humvee with a fucking M249 strapped to his back, carrying $300,000 worth of cocaine in the back with a fucking whole convoy of armed motherfuckers following him? You ain't gonna say shit. You shouldn't have to put up with it in the first place. I guess that's the part of the shit you assholes don't understand. Also, building the goddamn thing is a good way to dredge up all of the goddamn dick shits in Congress that were willingly working with these kinds of fuckfaces to help fund their operations and equip their operations. A little known fact here, apparently to you, a little known fact, is that Eric Holder, I call him Eric Cockholder, a guy in our Congress, a guy in our government, was going down to the border between the United States and Mexico and selling millions of dollars of fucking military firearms to cartels in an operation ironically called Fast and Furious. I don't know why they called it that. Apparently he's a fan of the fucking movies. But look it up. It sounds like bullshit, but it did legitimately actually happen. It was a big thing in the news for a while. Building a wall limits the ability for idiotic, stupid shit like that to happen. It also helps dredge bullshit like that out of our government. So you can see who the fuck was trying to do that shit, because them having to get through this massive fucking construct and shit. I mean, for God's sake, what do you really think he's going to do? Build the Great Wall of China between the U.S. and Mexico? No. You fucking moron. Good Lord. That's not what the entire thing was about at all.
Barbarians are at the gates. We must hold what we have. We must protect ourselves against the threat. This is the mentality that drove Trump's victory.
No, the mentality was, why the shit do we want another Clinton in office? You know, this whole Bernie Sanders thing really won't pan out because their whole free college shit's really just going to come out of your taxes. So while you get one thing for free, your taxes are going to levy into the fucking goddamn out of the roof. Okay? The elections in this country basically boil down to the lesser of two evils. And I hate that about it, but, you know, that's how it is. Not much you can do about that until somebody decides to effect some change, you know, bureaucratically and politically to alter that shit. But for fuck's sake, you know, to sit there and say that, oh, yeah, we want to keep them stupid-ass spicks out of our country, dang, oh, you know, yeah, my God, what a way to minimize things. Yeah, I want a crusty old woman in office who in their interviews with CNN and shit is so fucking frail and sick that somebody asks her a question and all of a sudden she's doing this on camera, getting like shots of a fucking EpiPen off camera and shit. Yeah, I want a woman in office who's so ill she probably won't survive through her first term. Yeah, who wants to start a bullshit war with fucking China and dumb shit like that. Yeah, that's a prime choice for a presidential fucking candidate. A person who wants to take the world that's already a shithole and make it an even bigger one. Oh, fuck.
Hillary Clinton had no idea what she was up against. She had two
Obviously, you were a Clinton supporter. I should have fucking known. God.
choices: to adopt her own version of the wall metaphor, or to deliver a wondrous vision of an America without the wall.
Ah! You really think that that cunt had a fucking wondrous vision for this country? No. No, no, no. And in consideration of this, too, anyone that's gone in opposition of the Clinton Foundation has found themselves suicided. Their head blown off, their life fucking ended because they went in opposition of their bullshit hedge fund organization. For God's sake, Bill's hanging out with motherfuckers like Jeffrey Epstein and shit on his pedo island and shit. You want people like that to rule your country? Well, that goes to show me where the fuck your crazy-ass priorities are, fuckhead.
With a new Promethean and Faustian psyche that transcends all barriers and reaches for the infinite.
Oh, bullshit. This cod's got more fucking corporate buddies than anybody you could imagine. She's got more corporate buddies than actual corporate dipshit like Donald Trump. Donald Trump was a legitimate businessman, as you obviously know, before he was a president. And even he didn't suck as much corporate cock as fucking Hillary Clinton. Get the fuck out of here. This bitch is the most federalized fucking dystopian fucking Orwellian choice for a presidential candidate that's ever come down the pike in this country's fucking history, next to fuckheads like George H.W. fucking Bush and fucking Bush Sr. and fucking Ronald Reagan. Get the fuck out of here. This stupid cunt was going to turn this place into nothing more than the United States of America sponsored by Walmart. Because that's in her fucking agenda. That's her prerogative. That's all fuckheads like that want to do. And then they have the balls to sit there and deny it. You don't know fucking shit about this Promethean, Faustian. What the fuck? Who gives a shit about what... you want to go talk about Greek fucking history here? Yeah, Prometheus was a fucking idiot that gave man fire. Opening up a world of bullshit possibilities for that. So much that the gods smited the guy to be chained down and have his liver bitten at by a fucking crow forever. What a great comparison for the future of our country. Let's burn it to the ground and then suffer the consequences eternally.
She didn't either. Instead, she tediously tried to form a coalition of liberals and various outgroups against the deplorables, the wall people. She
tried to fucking sit there and pull some illegal bullshit behind the scenes that actually pretty much rendered her able to be criminally indicted for breaking the fucking law during her campaign. And when people surfaced with legitimate evidence about this, coincidentally, a lot of them wound up dead under mysterious circumstances. Something that's been happening for decades, since the foundations of her bullshit Clinton Foundation with her and her husband. Yeah, mob rule is the way to get the country going. God, I didn't get this far in my first few takes of this video yesterday, but holy fucking shit, if I had known it was going to get this hyper, giga, turbo, ultra retarded, I would have just given it the fuck up. I'm on fire right now.
Everyone to sleep with her worthy, sanctimonious, politically correct, liberal preaching and sermonizing. Does anyone take that garbage serious? Clinton played the happy, clappy, kumbaya card. Are you vomiting in your mouth a little? She wanted to be all things to all the politically...
Okay, so you're in favor of it one moment and you're not in favor of it the next moment.
Correct. Clinton is enormously more intelligent than Trump. I mean, who isn't? But she had no ability to electrify...
No, she isn't. Clearly Clinton is a fucking idiot. Do you have any idea what the fuck she did for healthcare in this country in the early 90s? No, obviously you fucking don't. And Bill wouldn't much better.
Her base, and Trump did. The Bernie Sanders campaign was Clinton's biggest clue that she was going to lose if she didn't radicalize her base.
No, Bernie already knew he had an advantage because he'd seen the stupid bullshit this bitch had been trying to pull for years. And Bernie's an old motherfucker, and I don't even know if he would have actually survived his first term either just because of how fucking old he is, but he'd watched her bullshit unfurl over decades.
She totally failed to understand what the Sanders insurgency, led by enthusiastic
Sanders insurgency. I mean, good God, these
millennials signified, and she did nothing to change her campaign style and her message. The UK's...
Well, no shit. Neither did her husband when he ran for president.
Former Prime Minister, Tony Blair, travels the world saying that politicians can only win from the center. Those days are long gone.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Take a look at how world politics plays out these days. Are you fucking kidding me?
The center is where you're guaranteed to lose. We've entered a new world of total polarization. When a bland, liberal...
Polarization in the fucking media, dipshit. The reason why people think polarization is the way things are going in politics is because you have these idiot talking heads on the news every fucking night at 5 o'clock for the fucking evening news, giving people the impression that the way they extol the world to work is actually how it's fucking working. Yeah, I figured that had actually been a message you would have gotten across. Of all people, I figured you, of all fucking people, would have understood at least that, but obviously fucking not. Being a centrist is actually a good thing. And it's what a lot of people are starting to do because it allows you to take the best of all different political ideologies, as it were, and put them in a blender and come out with something halfway fucking decent while ignoring all the stupid bullshit negative. More and more people are realizing that this polarization is what's actually killing the fucking shit out of the world, and that there's no reason to adhere to that, and only the most base of simpering retards are still stuck fucking around with that shit because they're too stupid to understand otherwise.
Confronts a radical zealot, the winner is no longer the moderate. This is the age of the extremist. The world we live in today is captured best by W.B. Yeats in his dazzling poem, The Second Coming.
Okay, that's nice and all, but I don't give a shit.
Here are a few key lines. Things all fall apart. The center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loosed.
Okay, well that's cool poem and all, and kind of edgy, but I don't give a shit. How is that going to fucking solve the world's problems? Because Yeats wrote a fucking poem.
And everywhere the ceremony of innocence is drowned. The best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. Now, who's more passionate than the lunatic Trump supporters? They're practically frothing at the mouth. They've unleashed...
And your supporters are better how? They froth at the mouth for each one of these fucking videos just so you can get some shekels out of them to hate paying your bills, fuckhead. So in a way, you've vetted your own audience the way you've pointed in negativity of Trump vetting his audience. So then how the fuck are you any different?
The blood-dimmed tide, Sieg Trump, Heil the Donald. And already they're polishing their marching jackboots, flying their Confederate battle flags, sporting their paramilitary NRA badges, and counting how many assault rifles they have for the day of the rapture when they massacre every liberal. Do you
my God, I don't even know if that's like worthy of a response. So gun owners suck. Go fuck yourself as one. Seriously, go fuck yourself. And I'm a radical, insane bastard that's waiting for the time Jesus comes back so I can massacre all the minorities and all the libtards. I mean, do you really think that those kind of sauntering hard-right idiots are a majority in this country? No. 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 I'm sorry, but the Deep South does not define the overwhelming mindset of the country. How fucking goddamn stupid are you? My good goddamn fuck.
think the American Weimar Corps, codenamed Stormy Daniels, will hold back the SS divisions of the NRA? Get real. Wake up. The wall is standing there.
Do you really think that a bunch of fucking idiots like you would stand up against something like Nazism if it were actually relevant or prevalent in today's world? No. They shave your stupid bleached hair off, throw you in Majdanek, and tell you to go fuck yourself while they turn the oven up to 11. Philosophy does not get shit done in this world. Action does. You don't want to live in a world of tyrannical oppression? Well, then stop espousing a worldview that can create only that. What the fuck kind of world do you think it is gonna be out there if your shit were to take over? Because the only way for it to take over would be violently. This is one of the reasons why I think it's ridiculous when people say that they would do communism correctly. Because they think they're that moral. Because they think they're that superior. No, it'd be the same as when everyone's tried it. It'd be violent and horrible and oppressive. Ugh. You guys are all just fuckheads. Just one big group of fuckheads who think like that.
Right in front of you. Are you inside or outside? Are the barbarians outside the gate? Or are you the barbarians? If you want to be on the side of the...
I guess I'm the barbarian, so let me beat your head in with a club, and then I can eat you like a fucking turkey leg later or some shit, because that apparently is reality.
Luminous future rather than the old dead past, then join Hyperionism. Where else could you find Yeats, McKenna, the Weimar Republic, and Stormy Daniels all referenced in one video?
I can actually just ignore a video and go to the library and find their writings and literature and philosophies on my own. And I wouldn't need some ugly faggot on the internet to go point them out to me. I'm so smart that you wouldn't find them in anywhere else on the internet. Yeah, actually there's tons of people out there that talk about these people at length all over YouTube. 10 seconds of searching about that shit will find you that. You really are in love with yourself. Like, why do you need a wife? I know that you're married, but like, what use to you is a wife? You could just marry yourself because you're clearly the only person in the world that you love. You're just so in love with yourself.
Get up out of your seats. Become passionately intense, full of incandescent certainty. If you don't...
if you don't, you'll not be a light bulb.
Your enemies surely will. You can't hide from life.
Trump supporters are crazy because of us or them mentalities. Now let me imbue an us or them mentality in your head. Nice. God.
You have to choose. So which side are you on? Make your stand and raise your banner.
Do the hokey pokey and shake it all about.
Show the world your true colors. Leave humanity behind and become Hyperion. Stand with us against the dark army.
Can you at least have the dignity to become a suicide cult, at least? You know, so we don't have to deal with you assholes in the future.
That sees only walls and wants you to be outside their walls, or alternatively,
I'd rather deal with a country that tried to build some kind of a defense mechanism against a bunch of violent rampaging cartels than live on an open border country that has somebody come up to my doorstep because there's no protection against it, has a giant assault rifle in my face, and wants to blow my head off because they're bored and they run my town like a fucking mafia. Like, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. And it's not like we don't already have border protection on that level anyway. We've had border fences up for fucking decades. All of a sudden, people think he's going to build the Great Wall of China, and it's a problem, even though countermeasures like that have been around for a long time. Like, all of a sudden, the television said it was bad, so it's bad now.
inside the walls of their prison, unite with us, embark on Project Fallen Star. Freedom is not given, it's won. What are you doing?
Not giving you the money to pay your rent.
To win it. My name is Morg, and we are the Cult of Reason. Ad Astra, to the stars.
Can you get, like, nudes from a 16-year-old as well so the FBI has a reason to investigate you so we can figure out what you're all really about? Like, because, I mean, like, you know, with all these people on YouTube, I see, like, doing this kind of shit. It's only, like, a matter of time before you find out that they're just so in love with their egotism that they think that they're, like, you know, ahead of the law, and they're always, like, fucking around with young kids and shit, you know. Just they need to fill their ego with doing shit like that, so they get, like, you know, nudies every so often from some of their little, like, sycophantic followers and shit. I mean, we saw that with Onion Boy. We saw that with so many other people, especially like Davi Vanity and shit. I mean, there's no way with this scrawny meth head, heroin addict looking motherfucker this isn't going on. This is insanity.
Make sure that you like and subscribe, and check out my Patreon for hidden videos.
Look at these fucking idiots. These two people right here are always in the top. No, these three people are always in the top, too. I guess those are his most, like, brain-dead followers.
If you enjoy my videos, join us on Patreon. Now that's how I'm able to continue my work. And I want to say thank you to everyone on there. You guys are amazing, and you're helping us to create a brilliant new future.
I mean, with a few more payments from you, I'll be able to afford a shiny new car. I want to die. I don't want to live on this planet anymore. I don't want to live on this planet anymore. There's so many other Earth-like planets and shit in the universe. And it's just like, can we colonize them now so I can just get the fuck away from people like this and not have to acknowledge their existence in any way, shape, or form? Because this is like really doing my head in with how many of these cunts that are out there. This was a shit show. If I had known it was going to be that fucking bad, then oh my god. Yeah, I wouldn't have even decided to do the video. I would have just said, fuck it, I'm walking the fuck away from it. My god. My god, this guy is like turbo retarded, as I said. Anyway, yeah, if you want to like and subscribe to my videos, please do so. Because I'd appreciate that. And in an actual way, a legitimate way, not some half-assed hollow way that's just begging you to send me money because I don't want to work. Like this fucking ugly asshole I just suffered through nearly an hour of. So yeah, if you want to support my stuff, please like and subscribe. Because I can actually appreciate things in a non-hollow way. So yeah, anyway, until next time, take it easy guys, and I will see you later.